Welcome back. 6:52. The Arvin City Council has passed an ordinance that requires city employees and business employees to wear face masks while at work. Joining us live this morning to talk more about the decision, Mayor Jose Gurola, about the rule and how it might impact businesses. Good morning to you, Jose. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
What was the initial reaction from the people that were there when this was passed last night?
Well, good morning, and members of the community that were present on the call were in support of the proposal. They understood the need for the city to take action to prevent further spread of COVID-19 and spoke in favor of it.
So is this going to be something that business owners or employees and stuff will be providing for themselves, or is the city going to be helping out in that capacity?
The ordinance requires that employers must provide the masks for their employees, and that's consistent with state law. It's consistent with the orders from the governor, and so as any other requirement under state law that the employers have to provide for their employees, this is the same thing.
Now, you have mentioned in that the Arvin PD would be doing sort of an enforcement thing. Is this going to be sort of like in a more advisory role to begin with?
Well, the city staff, code enforcement officer, or even our other police officers would go and enforce the ordinance. And so there's going to be an educational component to this, giving a warning. And then if the employers do not follow through or are not following the ordinance, then there are other measures as outlined in the measure that we passed last night.
You know, the health department has been releasing new numbers. They have been expanding the amount of information that they've been providing. What have you seen as far as the numbers go in the Arvin, greater Arvin area as far as the COVID-19 virus?
Yes, when the county health department initially released their city by city or community data, we saw Arvin ranked among other cities higher than cities of our population in terms of COVID cases. And just over the last 7 days, Arvin has seen 10 new cases of COVID-19. And so this prompted us, and this was the basis for the city council last night adopting the ordinance requiring employers to have their employees wear masks on the premises.
Now, this is a pretty big move, as many areas are talking about sort of loosening some of the restrictions and whatnot moving forward. This now going into effect, do you foresee, if the numbers don't start to plateau or come down, something maybe even beyond the face mask, or are we not talking about that yet?
What we're talking about here is an order requiring employers having their employees wear masks. We're not talking about a general order having members of the public wear masks, although we strongly encourage them to do so at this time. If we don't see any improvement, or if the data and public health comes back and tells us that we need to have further measures to mitigate the spread of the virus, then that's something that we will certainly consider, including possibly an educational campaign, really encouraging members of the public to wear masks. And specifically because the state's beginning to reopen, the reason that's happening is not because the risk of the virus spreading has reduced. On the contrary, the medical professionals now have capacity to deal with the surge. The risk of the virus is still out there, and so people still need to do what they can, socially distance themselves, wear masks when they go out in public, and stay home if necessary, and only go out for essential trips. And the actions we took tonight are consistent with the mitigation of the spread of the virus.
Mayor Jose Gurola, thank you so much for joining us this morning. We appreciate it. We will continue to follow your progress and get that information out for you. Thank you again.
Thank you for having me, and stay safe, everybody.
All right, let's